Hey everyone, welcome back to Motor City Metalcraft. This is my thought for a Sunday. I was kind of having a conversation the other day, and it's one that comes up all the time. You see it on the internet all the time. Some of you probably already can guess what I'm going to say, but there's this: is it really worth that much to restore a car, or is my car worth restoring because of its theoretical resale value? Oh, it's a V6 car and it's got a big block in it now, and it's probably not worth blah blah blah. So let me just say, I have a number of thoughts going through my head right now, and I didn't write a script, so bear with me. First of all, the car is worth whatever it's worth to you. A lot of times these cars are sentimental. I took my wife on our first date. We see that all the time. It was my grandfather's car. I went through high school with my first date with this car, all that stuff. So cars are oftentimes worth more to the owner than they are to the general public. Secondly, people say, oh, you can buy one that's already done for less money than what it costs to do one. True, but define done and who did it and how well did they do it and how much are they hiding kind of sneaky stuff that they did and how reputable was the work that was done. So it's kind of a crapshoot. You certainly can get some killer deals on some cars that maybe a gentleman spent $150,000 at a very reputable shop and has a world-class restoration, and then it goes for auction at any number of the auction houses, right? And it goes across the block and it goes for 80 grand. I'm sure that happens all the time. And there's also cars that were slapped together in a barn and they're full of Bondo and they go across the block for 80 grand as well, and they're not worth 50. They're not worth anything because, in fact, they need to be completely stripped down to bare nothing and started over again. So just keep in mind, cheaply done or improper restoration where shortcuts are taken is like worse than no restoration, because now you've got to go backwards and strip that car down. I'd rather start with a car that's already rusty and nobody's tried to fix. So when projects come in, I actually like seeing a car that's rusty, that's never been fixed yet, and you can quickly evaluate what's wrong with the car and, you know, go from there. Sometimes you get a car in that's good, or it's a driver, or it's whatever. It was restored in the 90s by my friend. We take those cars apart, they can be terrible. I guess I'm off on a tangent, but the point is, we have plenty of customers who spend whatever amount of dollars are necessary to fix the car properly. This one I'm touching right now is the really nice Challenger over here. This car was not rusty at all, just very minor rust issues where the vinyl top was. And we've talked about this car before on our page, but when it got chem stripped, we found a bunch of collision damage that was completely unknown. Nobody knew that this car was really full Bondo, needed door skins, and need quarters. And he's going to have an excellent, really sound foundation to build a car, E-coated, all that, perfectly solid car. And I think when you do a car properly, these things can last literally a lifetime. It can last your children's lifetimes, right? Because they're not going to go out in the salt and the weather. They're as good as new or better because the seam sealers that we use today are better. The products, the epoxies are all better. So think about the advancements in that technology, and then think about how the way these cars are going to be babied in their second lifespan. So their second lifespan, if these cars made it 40 years the first time, they're going to last forever, buddy. Your grandkids are going to drive these cars. So when you say, is it worth doing? Well, sure, it sure as heck is. If you really want a nice, solid car that you can know was done right. If you don't want to care if it was done right or not, you can buy a car somebody else did, and then take your chances. We got people that build custom cars. What is the market value of a customized 1960 Cadillac hearse? I don't know. There's no market comps for a hearse on airbags. This guy's spending a bunch of money on the car. Is it worth it when it's done? It's worth it to him. Then that's all that matters to me, and it's all that matters to him. So car goes across an auction block, who knows what it'll go for? It could be more or less than the cost of the restoration. But when you're building custom cars or even just resto mod stuff, it's often the case that cars are they cost more to build than they might be worth as a resale tomorrow. By the way, who the heck builds a car to sell it tomorrow? It doesn't make any sense. We're building these cars to keep them. If you're trying to build a car and have it professionally built with the idea of flipping it, you're going to get some rare car and you're going to restore the Mustang, and then it's going to be you're going to make a killing. Probably not, unless you can do all that work in your garage. If you're a do-it-yourselfer and you can do quality work, that's one venue you can explore. But you'll find out you spend so many hours doing the restoration. At the end of the day, the profit is absorbed by all those hours, and when you amortize those hours out, you'll find out, oh, I got $22 an hour to restore that car because I have 600 or 800 hours in it. So sure, it kind of depends on what your time is worth. You can flip cars. Paying a professional shop to do that and try to flip the car, it's not really feasible. Good luck to you if you're trying. I'd be glad to build them for you, but I don't know if if the end game is there. All that being said, these cars are priceless to their owners. This one here is really customized, highly customized resto mod. It's going to have flush glass. It's got all aftermarket suspension stuff in it. Modern LS motor, LSX, in fact, Tremec transmission, kind of the all the good stuff that the resto mod guys are doing. Big brakes. I think they're Bear brakes on this one. They're killer. He's got some awesome wheels and tires. And just the cost of parts of that car could be like what people think it's worth when it's done. So who cares what people think? That's my point. This car's worth every penny to the guy who's building it.